All right, folks, good morning. Sorry we're starting a little late here, but let us get started. Okay, so for today, April the 2nd, we have a big day. Uh, we had at 8:15 a.m. Eastern ADP non-farm employment change that came in a lot better than expected at 155,000. Expectation was 118,000. At 10 a.m., we have factory orders month over month. That is not an important report, so we do not expect any significant impact. But the big announcement today will be at 4 o'clock Eastern, right at market close. President Trump is scheduled to speak for Liberation Day, okay, as it's been dubbed. And this will be him discussing tariffs, and we'll go from there. Now, the reaction from the market, of course, the markets will be officially, the regular session will be closed, but the post-market session will be happening, and of course, we'll probably see some movement in the market from there. All right, having said that, let's take a look at what was happening yesterday. So, first things first, markets are down overnight substantially. Okay, that puts us back into the lower end of the range that we were trading yesterday. And taking a look at uh, what stocks we were looking at yesterday, we did look at SoundHound. This was a very wasn't a very eventful day for us. We did look at SoundHound as a possible trade going in the downward direction, but we got pushed out pretty quickly. I decided to exit very early into the trade before it had a chance to fully reverse. So that was fortunate. We were able to mitigate part of a loss, but nevertheless, this was a opportunity that just didn't work out. All right, so moving on, let's take a look at what happened in the trade, or what's happening in the pre-market, I should say. We're looking for stocks that are moving in the pre-market right now. We have BIAF, which is currently down about 9% on 13.3 million shares. However, it is now trading below $1 per share. If it is able to get back above $1, then that would be an opportunity. But as it stands down at the price it's at, it does not present an opportunity for us. But I'll put on our possibilities list just to keep a heads up. BIAF is a symbol. All right. Next up is EWTX, which is presently down 27.5% on 1.5 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add EWTX to our pre-market list. Next up is ICCT. ICCT is currently up or down, 30% on 2.1 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add ICCT to our list. Next up is NVIDIA. I just want to check. It's down 2.3%, so not enough to. I was looking to see if the NVIDIA ETF will be down, but it won't be. Palantir is down 3%, so that won't be enough either. Next up is RSLS, which is presently down 60% on 43.5 million shares, but that puts it below $1 per share, unfortunately. So we'll have to pass on that. Symbol again is RSLS. Notable that this had a nice rally over the last few days, right? Pre-market here, big rally yesterday, overnight was up, collapses pre-market. So that means you never know. Even if it's up, doesn't mean it's going to be up the next day. All right, next up is SBFM. That's currently up 57.2% on 18.8 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. We'll go ahead and add SBFM to our list. All right, next up is SIDU, which is presently up about 15 maybe 16%. 5.2 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share. We can go ahead and add SIDU to our list. And next up is TCRT, which is presently up about 10% on 2.2 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well. We can go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar, TCRT. And then lastly, we are going to take a quick look at Tesla. I see it's sharply down the pre-market, down 4.2%. So that means TSLL must be down. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any. Deliveries. Okay. Tesla's deliveries was way below what was expected. Q1 deliveries was expected to be 390,000, but the outcome was 336,000. So that's the big surprise. So TSLL will qualify. That's down 7.5% on 30.3 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. We'll see what happens. Tesla may not stay down off of that because even though the expectations officially said one thing, the markets may have already priced that in. Probably they did. So we'll see. All right. That all being said, if you find any other stocks, TSLZ I guess could be used too, but TSLL would work. I think you meant TSLL, but either way, TSLL qualifies. All right, folks, if you see any other stocks that meet all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. We need to look for a NASDAQ listed stock trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session. Also in this current pre-market session, it must have achieved at least a 6%. Currently must be at a 6% price change, which may be positive or negative, and must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume. So if you folks see any other stocks meeting all four of those criteria, let me know in the chat. All right, CFU, so IBG is mentioned. That qualifies, 230% up, 84 million shares, at least $1. That qualifies for sure. So we'll add IBG. SPWH is mentioned. SPWH. Sportsman's Warehouse, which is currently up about 43% on 11 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add SPWH to our list. Next up is QSG, which is presently up about 12% on 1.2 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add QSG to our list. And lastly, JYD is mentioned. That's currently down about 83% on 1.8 million shares, and it is still at least $1 per share. So that stock JYD can be added. All right, folks, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse. As always, please be sure to like the video. I see we have 8 likes, but there are more than 8 people watching for sure. So please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Those greatly help us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when we produce a new video. And if you're watching this video and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com. That's our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone's part of the coaching program, I'll see you there in about 16 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's trading session, okay? Have a great trading day, folks. I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.